At the Newman Ranch, Ian holds a gun on Victor, his henchmen Mortensen, Nick, and Michael. He orders them to back off as Victor warns he will never get past security. Ward is willing to take his chances, even though Victor is sure he is only signing his death warrant. "Wanna make a deal?" he asks. That gives Ian a laugh. He's not about to start negotiating with them. Victor says he's cornered like a dog. "Simon, man, you keep talking like that, you're going to make me feel bad," says Ian. Nick warns that he can't take them all out before security will come down on him. It's clear to Ward that they won't let him leave alive, so he's determined to go out on his terms. Ian orders Mortensen to step over so he can check him for weapons. After pistol whipping the henchman unconscious, Ian declares the playing field is a little more level now. As he chuckles, Victor warns him that he's crossed a line. Nick demands that he let them know where Tessa and Aria are. Ian insists he has no idea, but Nick won't relent. As he keeps yelping, Michael gets him to back down. Ward complains that they dragged him over there in the middle of the night and attacked him. He only came back to Genoa City to find redemption, but they refused to see that he was a changed man. "You are a sick man," says Victor. Ian says they have driven him to this. Whatever happens next is on them. If he's going out big and bringing the Newman family down with him. He wants the other children called over and cocks the gun when Victor refuses. Threatening to shoot Nick right now, he repeats his demand that Victor call his other children. Michael steps up and urges Ian to stop this. He's sure he doesn't want to sacrifice himself just to go after the Newmans. Why throw away his freedom over this? Ian points out that Victor has already made it clear he will never be free. There's no sense in not doing this. He's compassionate, so he tells Michael that he can go. Michael refuses to turn his back on his boss, who has been more of a father to him than his own father ever was. His loyalty seems misguided to Ian. Baldwin is determined to make Ward see the rationale of ending things peacefully. "Nope, I'm good," Ian says, demanding once again that the other children be called over so they can finally get to the theatrics and tears. After he threatens to shoot Nick in the head, Victor calls Adam and asks him to come over, saying it's an emergency. Ian bursts out laughing. "Let's get this party started," he declares before calling up the stairs for Nikki to come down and see what's about to happen to her family. Moments later, Nikki files down the stairs with Claire and Victoria. She gasps when she notices the man on the floor. After she asks Victor what happened, she gasps again upon spotting Ian. "A veritable slumber party. My lucky night," Ian says gleefully. Ward tells her that her husband has shattered his belief in the power of redemption, and now they all have to pay for it. After herding the family to one side of the room, Ian orders Victor to call Abby, the sassy one. Sighing, Victor makes the call, telling her to come over because there is an emergency. Victoria thinks this is ridiculous. What's the point? Ian claims he's saving the world from the Newman cesspool. When Nikki mocks him, he says she will go last after watching everyone she loves die. Victoria pleads for Ian to let her daughter go, but he doesn't think she's innocent. She took part in Jordan's death. He admits that he knew the late madwoman and that they had a bond. There was a purity to her that he fell in love with when he least expected it. The Newmans killed her. When Victor insists she killed herself, Ian says she would never leave him. They took her away from him just as they've taken everything from everybody. At the very least, there will be justice for Jordan, he declares. Nikki says she doesn't deserve justice after all she did, torturing her and killing her friend in cold blood. She was pure evil, just like him. Ian says she never understood him or Jordan. Stepping up, Claire says that her aunt could never have loved him. She was a sociopath and only capable of hatred. If she pretended to love him, it was only to manipulate him. Ian says that her aunt loved her, but Claire refuses to accept that and says she weaponized her against people who are kind and generous. That invites a guffaw from Ian, who rails about how the Newmans take what isn't theirs and threaten those who get in their way. Claire tells him that her aunt complained about him. That outrages him, and he starts at her with the gun. Victor barks at him to back off, and Victoria begs again for him to let her daughter go. Ward complains that Claire's mouth is pure Newman, so she stays. He refuses to accept that Jordan would take her own life and accuses them of luring her in and pushing her to death. Pointing at Claire, he says she needs to be punished. Adam walks in, surprised to see what's going on. Ian reminds him they used to be partners in crime and tells him to join the others. With the whole family in one corner, Ian laughs that he can feel the love washing over him. Victor asks him again if they can make a deal. Ward assumes he's offering money. When Victor says he would give up his whole empire to save his family, everyone shakes their heads. Ian asks if he would give up his own life to save them. After Victor declares he would happily do so, Nick says that Ian wouldn't be able to get his first shot off before they came at him. "It's all of us or none of us," declares Nikki. Backing up, Ward sadly says he wanted a family with Jordan, but it's not to be. Adam says he knows from experience how pragmatic Ian is and asks him what his price is. Ian accuses him of being his father's lackey, always stuck doing the dirtiest deeds. He knows how much he resents his father and the whole family. Nick and Victoria start protesting and Ian mocks them before moving back to Nikki. He says she's only ever been a possession to Victor. She claims they have the kind of love he could never comprehend. "So wondrous it drove you to booze," Ian points out. He thinks any of them would be willing to sell their soul just for a bigger piece of the pie. Rising from his chair, Victor warns him that he won't get out of there alive unless they make a bargain. Ian knows, and he doesn't intend to get out. He also doesn't intend for Victor to get out alive. Urging him not to be a fool, Victor offers him a fortune. Money means nothing to Ian. All he wants is to see his carcass on the floor. Repeating his offer of money, Victor agrees to drive off the property with him. Ward asks how many marksmen would be aiming at him while they do. He repeats his plan to kill his family members one at a time while Nikki watches. More, is Jordan really dead? When he wonders why Abby hasn't shown up, Victor admits he didn't call her. Ian asks Nikki how she copes with watching her husband love a child he fathered with another woman. It must be a reminder of all the hell he put her through. Nikki insists they are a family and nothing can break them. Dismissing this as pathetic, Ian prods Victor to pick who dies first. "No one dies but me," Victor insists. He steps closer to him, calling him a coward. Ian shoots him in the arm. As the family crowds around bleeding Victor, Ian orders them not to call anyone. Victor suddenly lurches at Ward, pushing him onto the couch. The gun goes off and Ian is hit. As he slumps onto the floor, Victor's family pulls him up. Nick grabs the gun and Michael calls for an ambulance. "Did I get the son of a bitch?" Victor asks. Adam tells his dad he saved them all. Nikki and Victoria soak up Victor's blood as he grumbles. They try to keep him awake, but he can hardly keep his eyes open. He mutters to his wife that she's beautiful. Ian continues to bleed in a chair. He prompts Nick to use the gun and finish the job. Nick doesn't believe in killing people in cold blood. Ian complains that he'd rather watch him die slowly and painfully. Nick muses about the pain he's caused other people and says that sounds pretty cool to him. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Jolie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. January already feels like February sweeps because of Jordan and Ian's reign of terror. The young and the restless spoilers set Genoa City on fire these past weeks with poisonings and dramatic confrontations. But you might be wrong if you thought things couldn't get any crazier. With Tessa and Aria's disappearance, there is still mystery around the person who's pulling the strings. Is there a new villain? The Young and the Restless spoilers has Ian stashed Tessa and Arya. The Young and the Restless spoilers recall that Karma finally caught up with Jordan after all. Then, Ian Ward turned up at the Newman Ranch to pick the most dangerous fight ever. In a nutshell, it's been villain after villain stirring the pot, but what's next? Moreover, it looks like Ian will end up in a coffin, which leaves us with one big mystery. Where in the world are Tessa Porter and little Arya Copeland Porter? On January 27, Maria Copeland swung by Sharon Newman's house only to find that her wife and daughter were gone. She immediately pointed fingers at Ian, who wouldn't, right? But what if he's actually innocent for once? According to Y and R spoilers, Ian will take a bullet on January 29, and we don't know if he'll make it out alive. Nevertheless, he has been denying his part in Tessa and Arya's kidnapping from the get-go. If he's being honest, then we wonder who is responsible for snatching them. Will Genoa City get another unhinged baddie? GC gets a new villain. With Jordan out of the picture and Ian heading for the abyss, the town can use another evil mastermind. Furthermore, Tessa and Mariah's messy past can easily attract people who would love to seek vengeance. How about an old face like Ben Stitch Rayburn or a new psycho to spell trouble? The CBS soap is delivering big time, and anything can happen next. It will be interesting to see if Ian spills the beans before he kicks the bucket. Victor Newman and Nick Newman will be left scrambling for answers if he takes his secrets to the grave. For decades, Eric Braeden has captivated audiences as the ruthless yet charismatic Victor Newman on The Young and the Restless. But behind the scenes, his real-life journey has been marked by struggle, loss, and incredible perseverance. From surviving war-torn Germany to facing life-threatening health battles, Braeden's story is one of resilience, heartbreak, and ultimate triumph. A childhood shaped by war. Born Hans-Georg Guttegast in 1941, Braeden's early years were overshadowed by World War II. Growing up in Germany, he witnessed firsthand the devastation left behind by the war. His father, once a respected mayor, passed away when Braeden was just 12 years old, leaving his family in financial turmoil. These hardships instilled in him a fierce determination to succeed, no matter the odds. In his late teens, he left Germany for America, arriving with little more than ambition and a dream. But the road to success would not be easy. Struggles in Hollywood and a new identity. Braeden's thick German accent and foreign background made it nearly impossible to land leading roles in Hollywood. Casting directors dismissed him, believing audiences wouldn't connect with a European actor. Undeterred, he worked tirelessly, taking on minor roles in war films and shows. One fateful meeting changed his life. A producer suggested he change his name to something more American. Reluctantly, Hans-Georg Guttegast became Eric Braeden. Though the decision felt like erasing part of his identity, it opened doors that had previously been slammed shut. The role that changed everything. In 1980, Braeden was offered a short-term role on The Young and the Restless as Victor Newman, a ruthless businessman. Originally, Victor was meant to be a temporary character. However, Braeden's magnetic performance turned Victor into one of the most iconic soap opera villains of all time. Fans couldn't get enough of his cunning schemes, passionate romances, and emotional depth. His chemistry with co-star Melody Thomas Scott became legendary, making Victor and Nikki one of daytime TV's most beloved power couples. But while his career soared, his personal life was filled with unexpected battles, health scares, and a fight for survival. In 2023, at the age of 82, Braeden revealed he had been diagnosed with bladder cancer. The news shocked fans, but true to his resilient nature, he faced the disease head-on. During treatment, he continued working on Y&R, refusing to let illness define him. He opened up about his struggles, encouraging fans to prioritize their health and never ignore warning signs. His determination paid off. After months of treatment, he triumphantly announced he was cancer-free. A legacy that will never fade. Today, Eric Braeden remains a titan of daytime television, proving that perseverance can conquer even the darkest moments. From a young boy surviving the horrors of war to a Hollywood icon who overcame rejection, personal loss, and illness, his story is an inspiration to millions. At 82, Braeden has no plans to retire. As Victor Newman, he continues to dominate the young and the restless, reminding us why he is one of the greatest soap opera legends of all time. The Young and the Restless spoilers document that Victor Newman's love of his family and relentless bravery saved the Newman clan. Ian Ward was vanquished, but not before he shot Victor at close range. Considering how close they were to each other, it was a bit soapy to believe that Ian would not have killed Victor. Ian also knew he might only get one shot off rather than the multiple shots he intended to fire in the new ranch house's living room. But Victor returned the favor by pumping some lead into Ian's chest that was sent with fatal intent. The Young and the Restless spoilers. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Victor survives shot to stomach. Ian bites the bullet. By Sean O'Brien, last updated Jan 30, 2025. Share. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Victor survives shot to stomach. Ian bites the bullet. The Young and the Restless spoilers document that Victor Newman's love of his family and relentless bravery saved the Newman clan. Ian Ward was vanquished, but not before he shot Victor at close range. Considering how close they were to each other, it was a bit soapy to believe that Ian would not have killed Victor. Ian also knew he might only get one shot off rather than the multiple shots he intended to fire in the new ranch house's living room. But Victor returned the favor by pumping some lead into Ian's chest that was sent with fatal intent. The tense standoff happened after Ian, who appears to be twice the age of Victor's security agent, overpowered and took a gun. A more eye-raising incident occurred when that same man was knocked unconscious by Wise's character. The Young and the Restless spoilers, who handle security team hiring. Some humor has to be injected into any dead serious storyline, especially when a bloody climax arrives. So seeing Victor's so-called muscle man lying unconscious in the foyer was quite the daytime sight. Ian dragged the body to that location aside from the staircase, which implied a bad move. Viewers might have been thinking that man would wake up and attack Ian from behind, but he was out cold, and that never happened. Victor is one of the world's most brilliant businessmen. He's built an empire that drives jealous people like Ian and Jordan Howard mad. But when it comes to making hiring decisions about ranch and family security, Victor needs help. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Nikki Newman stands tall. Her maiden name was Nicole Reed Newman to honor her backstory. Ian knew the woman he derisively called Nicole during his years as a cult leader. He wronged Nikki and, years later, made her believe he was the father of her first child, Dylan McAvoy. Thankfully he wasn't, and Paul Williams was. So it was natural when Nikki didn't back down. She stared at the gun he was holding and still told him how small he was. The Young and the Restless spoilers. All the Newmans and Michael Baldwin. Most of the Newman family forcibly gathered at Ian's intended death party. All but Abby Newman stood with their father because he hadn't called her. The only grandchild present was Claire Newman, which was fitting. Ian assaulted her verbally, but she stood up to him by telling him a truth he didn't want to hear about Jordan. Michael Baldwin offered the most surprising comment of the day. He refused the chance to leave when Ian told him he could, saying that Victor was more of a father to him than his father ever was. Victor looked at Michael then, seeing something in him that he may not have before. The incident where Michael and Cole Howard overrode Victor's dungeon hold on Jordan is now likely forgiven. LeBlanc's character will also be considered family in Genoa City, Wisconsin. This site is a leading source for everything linked to the Young and the Restless. Check back regularly for Y&R spoilers and news. Is Ian leaving the young and the restless? That's the question on fans' minds as Y&R pulled a fast one on viewers today. The hit CBS soap has undoubtedly kept fans on their toes over the past few weeks. That was the case again this week with the fallout of Ian and the Newman family at the ranch. Victor and Ian were both shot amid a struggle with their lives hanging in the balance. When the ambulances arrived, Ian was pronounced dead, giving closure to Nikki, Sharon, and Mariah. So does this mean Ian is really dead? After all, this is Genoa City, and people always come back from the dead. Is Ian leaving young and the restless? Instead of making Y&R fans wonder if Ian is dead, the CBS soap answered the question at the end of the episode. Ian opened his eyes in the ambulance, revealing that the villain wasn't dead. The Young and the Restless has set the stage for Ian to come back at some point. It seems Ian is leaving Y&R for now, with the door open to have him wreak havoc again. February sweeps begin next week. The writers could be setting the stage for Ian to make a move the Newman family never saw coming. Nikki, Victor, Sharon, and Mariah are all breathing a sigh of relief that Ian is dead. In the soap world, trouble is on the horizon when people get too comfortable. Then again, Ian could be MIA for a while as the writers wait for the perfect time to unleash him back on Genoa City. Ray Wise delivers an Emmy-worthy performance on Y&R. The face-off between Ian and Victor was the stuff that soaps are made of, and it's all because of their portrayers. Eric and Ray brought their A-game and more to those scenes. Even though we will sing Eric's praises daily for his performances as Victor, Ray deserves his props this time around. Ray played the evil villain so well that he made us love to hate him. During the scenes with Victor and the rest of the Newman family, Ray's portrayal of Ian almost had us rooting for him to come out on top. It's a clear sign an actor is good at their job when they play an evil character so well that fans love to hate them. That was the case with Ian, thanks to Ray, and despite some not liking the character, we can all agree the actor is beyond talented. It's the end of an era for the young and the restless. After more than 4 decades of portraying the ruthless yet beloved Victor Newman, Eric Braeden is saying goodbye to Genoa City. Fans are devastated by the news, and speculation is running wild. Why is the legendary soap icon leaving so suddenly? What does this mean for the Newman Empire? And most importantly, how will Victor's story end? Get ready for an emotional roller coaster as we dive into the real reasons behind Braeden's exit and what's next for Y&R. A heartfelt goodbye. The end of Victor Newman? Eric Braeden has been the heart and soul of the Young and the Restless since he first appeared as Victor Newman in 1980. His power struggles, intense romances, and unforgettable rivalries have defined the show for over 40 years. But now, the unthinkable is happening. Victor is making his final bow. Fans first started noticing subtle hints that change was coming. Victor, a man who has always been in control, has been acting erratically in recent storylines. Was this leading to something bigger? Now we have our answer. Y&R is preparing for a major farewell. The real reason behind Eric Braeden's departure. So why is Braeden leaving now? One major factor is his health. The 82-year-old actor has been open about his battle with cancer and the toll it has taken on him. Despite his incredible resilience, filming a daily soap opera is grueling, and stepping away may be the best decision for his well-being. Another possible reason, a creative shakeup behind the scenes. Soap operas evolve, and Y&R writers may have decided it was time to give Victor a dramatic send-off. But will it be a retirement or something more tragic? And let's not forget contract negotiations. Over the years, Braeden has fiercely defended his place on the show. Could behind-the-scenes conflicts have played a role in his exit? Whatever the reason, one thing is clear: his departure will leave a massive void. How will Victor's story end? Now comes the million-dollar question. How will Lai and R say goodbye to Victor Newman? A peaceful retirement? Could Victor finally step away from the corporate world and spend his remaining years with Nikki? A quiet exit seems unlikely for a man like Victor, but it would allow him to walk away with dignity. A devastating death. Some fans fear the show is setting up a heartbreaking goodbye. Victor has been experiencing health scares, and with Brayden's real-life battle, a powerful emotional storyline could be in the works. Would Lai and R dare to kill off one of its most iconic characters? A shocking disappearance. What if Victor simply vanishes? Whether it's an escape from danger or a dramatic exit on his own terms, Lai and R could leave the door open for a return, just in case Brayden ever wants to come back. A final showdown. Could an old enemy, perhaps Jack Abbott, or even a shocking villain from the past, be responsible for Victor's exit? A high-stakes battle would be a fitting send-off for the ultimate power player. Whatever happens, fans should prepare for an unforgettable moment. The future of the Newman family. With Victor gone, Genoa City will never be the same. But what does this mean for the Newman Empire? Adam and Nick's war. Without their father, will Nick and Adam finally work together, or will they destroy the company in a brutal sibling rivalry? Victoria's rise to power. Victor has always favored Victoria as his heir, but will she live up to his legacy, or will someone else take control? Nikki's struggles. How will Nikki cope with losing the love of her life? Could this push her into a downward spiral? Victor's absence will send shockwaves through Y and R, setting the stage for massive changes. Eric Brayden's emotional message to fans. Following the announcement, Eric Brayden took to social media to share his thoughts. In a heartfelt video, he thanked his fans for their unwavering support over the years. His voice trembled with emotion as he reflected on his journey and the love he has for the Y and R audience. I have lived and breathed Victor Newman for over 40 years, Brayden said. It has been an honor, and I will forever be grateful. Tears were shed, both by the actor and by the millions of fans who have followed his every move for decades. Is this really goodbye? Soap operas are known for their shocking twists. Could this really be the end of Victor Newman, or is there a chance he'll return one day? If history has taught us anything, it's that no one is ever truly gone in the world of soaps. If the writers leave the door open, a future comeback isn't impossible. Could Victor fake his own death? Could he disappear only to return when Genoa City needs him the most? For now, fans will have to brace themselves for an emotional farewell. Final thoughts. A legend leaves, but his legacy remains. Eric Brayden's departure marks the end of an era, but Victor Newman's legacy will live on forever. Whether you loved him or loved to hate him, there's no denying that he was one of the greatest soap opera characters of all time. How do you feel about Eric Brayden leaving Y and R? What do you think will happen to Victor Newman? Share your thoughts and get ready for one of the most emotional goodbyes in soap history. After today's episode, the Young and the Restless fans are worried about Victor. Victor is always a force to be reckoned with on the hit CBS soap. The mustache goes to great lengths to protect his family. That was the case when villain Ian went rogue as Victor backed him into a corner. In true soap fashion, Victor tried to play hero, injuring himself and Ian. Explainer. Is Victor leaving Young and the Restless? Wed Jan 29, 2025 at 2:18 p.m. ET. By Rachel Lewis. Eric Brayden as Victor on My and R. Victor is hurt on My and R pick credit, CBS. After today's episode, the Young and the Restless fans are worried about Victor, Eric Brayden. Victor is always a force to be reckoned with on the hit CBS soap. The mustache goes to great lengths to protect his family. That was the case when villain Ian, Ray Wise, went rogue as Victor backed him into a corner. In true soap fashion, Victor tried to play hero, injuring himself and Ian. Subscribe to our soap's newsletter. Get updates on the latest posts and more from Monsters and Critics straight to your inbox. Enter your email. By submitting your information, you agree to our T&Cs and privacy policy. The recent events have the young and the restless viewers freaking out that Victor's time is up. Is Victor leaving Young and the Restless? There's good news for Victor and Eric fans. They are not going anywhere. Over the past couple of years, Eric has said more than once that he has no plans to retire from the daytime drama. The actor loves his job and intends to stay as long as the show and fans want him to be part of it. Victor may be hurt, but he's not down or out. Honestly, did anyone really believe it would be a gunshot that took out the almighty Victor Newman? Instead, the mustache will have an injury that will play into a new storyline. After all, Victor has some issues with his family, especially the way Nikki, Victoria, and Claire handled Jordan. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Victor and the rest of the Newman family reel from what happens to Ian at the ranch. February sweeps are on the horizon, so the fallout from Ian's actions and Victor's shooting will play out all month long. Eric Braeden celebrates 45 years at Y&R. It's been a rough time for Eric and his family. As Monsters and Critics previously reported, Eric was one of many who lost his home in the LA fires. Despite the horrific, life-changing event, Eric has something to celebrate this year. Eric hits another milestone with The Young and the Restless as he marks 45 years of playing Victor Newman. In January 1980, soap fans were introduced to Victor and Eric, and the rest, as they say, is history. The show plans to pay tribute to the actor and character, but is keeping details under wraps. It was a 3-day event for Eric's 40th anniversary on the show, and fans can expect the same for his 45th. Perhaps we are in for a big surprise during February sweeps to honor Victor and Eric. Keep checking back with Monsters and Critics for information on that and more Y&R news. The Young and the Restless star Courtney Hope has responded to lies being spread about her. Courtney is no stranger to being the subject of made-up stories, especially on social media. However, Courtney also has a breaking point regarding writing lies. The Y&R beauty hit that point recently, and not just because of the rumor's impact on her, but also on her fans. Courtney recently addressed a rumor she was leaving The Young and the Restless, sharing her anger for the blatant lie. The Young and the Restless star Courtney Hope speaks out. Courtney was compelled to speak out after seeing a social media account she follows share a message that she was leaving Y&R. The actress took to her Instagram stories to share a screenshot of the social media account's story and sent the record straight. This is not true, and it really is infuriating when people put out false news just to get a reaction out of the fans. I'm not leaving, I'm not taking a break, no such thing has been uttered. Deplorable clickbait, she wrote on her IG story. Young and the Restless star Courtney Hope shuts down deplorable rumor. 2 Jan 28, 2025 at 1:59 p.m. ET. By Rachel Lewis. Courtney Hope as Sally on Y&R. Courtney has set the record straight. Pick credit, CBS. The Young and the Restless star Courtney Hope, Sally, has responded to lies being spread about her. Courtney is no stranger to being the subject of made-up stories, especially on social media. It's part of the job of being a soap star. However, Courtney also has a breaking point regarding writing lies. The Y&R beauty hit that point recently, and not just because of the rumor's impact on her, but also on her fans. Subscribe to our soap's newsletter. Get updates on the latest posts and more from Monsters and Critics straight to your inbox. Enter your email. By submitting your information, you agree to our T&Cs and privacy policy. Courtney recently addressed a rumor she was leaving The Young and the Restless, sharing her anger for the blatant lie. The Young and the Restless star Courtney Hope speaks out. Kourtney was compelled to speak out after seeing a social media account she follows share a message that she was leaving Y&R. The actress took to her Instagram stories to share a screenshot of the social media account's story and set the record straight. This is not true, and it really is infuriating when people put out false news just to get a reaction out of the fans. "I'm not leaving, I'm not taking a break, no such thing has been uttered." Deplorable clickbait, she wrote on her IG story. Kourtney later added a video to address the fake rumor and reassure fans she wasn't going anywhere. The young and the restless beauty didn't hold back from sharing her feelings on lies and fake information. "I truly do not understand why people spread false information. It's very deceitful toward the fans and the people that follow these accounts. It's disgusting," Kourtney expressed. She also has a problem with people claiming she said things that she didn't. One reason the lies anger her is because they get Kourtney's fans riled up and upset over nothing, and she's not here for that. "It's a disgusting use of an Instagram page," the actress stated. In true Kourtney fashion, she thanked her fans for their constant love and support, and for letting her know when rumors were being written about her. Y&R Superfan Yoga Champagne captured Kourtney's IG stories and shared them on X. What is next for Sally on Y&R? The rumor that Kourtney is leaving Y&R comes as things are heating up between Sally and Billy. Spoilers for the young and the restless reveal that Sally has some magic in store for her new man. In fact, we saw some of that today on the hit CBS soap. Even though Billy and Sally basically got together because Adam and Chelsea cheated, they are becoming an interesting couple. Billy and Sally's relationship will soon be tested. Head writer Josh Griffith teased that a love triangle between Sally, Billy, and Phyllis is coming. Kourtney Hope isn't exiting Y&R and has set the record straight on the lie being spread about her.